Hi, in this video we're talking about the GTA 6 leak. Is it real? Where the game's going to be set, and what does this mean for GTA Online? Hi and welcome back, my name's Dan and I'm an old grumpy gamer. Well, the internet's on fire with news of leaked pre-alpha footage of what's claimed to be GTA 6. We've seen a lot of this kind of crap before with Mr. Boss and the infamous Sanando regularly clickbaiting GTA 6 rubbish, most of the time with complete non-news and often flat out lies. But in this case, it looks to be the real deal. I've managed to review the footage, which I can't show here because Take-Two are going hard on the DCMA takedowns, but I've reviewed the footage, and as someone who makes a living from software development, this looks, well, right. I mean, it could be an elaborate hoax knocked up in the latest Unreal Engine, Unity or Blender, but it really doesn't feel like it at this point. In addition, according to Bloomberg's Jason Schreier, staff at Rockstar are devastated and concerned the leak may disrupt work on the game for a minute and lead to restrictions on work from home arrangements for Rockstar staff. And that could lead to an exodus of devs and artists from the company. As I mentioned before, I develop software, not this type of software, mainly businessy stuff in PHP, Python and JavaScript, but software nonetheless. During the plague, with the endless work from home arrangements, many of the developers and UI UX guys I work with moved out of central cities and either back to their own hometowns or a ways away from the main office. Many of them still, even after all the restrictions have been lifted, only work remotely, myself included. Now, a lot of these remote workers, if they had to start going back into the office every day, would simply, well, not. They'd find other work. So right now, most of the hot takes and restrictions I've seen are, rightly, concerned with delays around having to tweak the code base and lock down security. My concern is there'll be additional delays around a reduced workforce, which could also mean going back to the bad old days of perma-crunch. That's where dev teams are largely forced to work in sweatshop-like conditions, working more than 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. But we're expecting an official announcement a bit later today, so let's see what Rockstar has to say in a while. We're also now seeing reports of the leaker asking Rockstar for money, with additional leaks threatened, more gameplay footage, more gameplay features, and the actual source code being threatened to be released. And that's really bad because it will allow bad actors to glean ways to inject their own code. And that means data security problems for end users and the ability for modders to wreak havoc from more or less day one of release. It could also mean that Rockstar is gazumped, and some enterprising dev could release a compiled version of the source code via BitTorrent or similar, which could gut potential sales of the game. And if it's one thing that Rockstar doesn't like, it's having their money messed with. It's also worth noting, if you do see something claiming to be a compiled version of GTA 6 on BitTorrent, don't download it, even if it's the real deal, which it won't be, but even if it is, it will be full of malware. And there are some links below to a couple of videos that some ordinary gamers did on the risk of using untrusted sources for any game software. Mutahara is great for this kind of stuff, and I highly recommend taking a look. But anyway, onto the gameplay, which again, I can't show without drawing the ire of Take-Two. As of the time of recording, you can still view some footage on YouTube though, so if you just search GTA 6 original footage or something similar, you're pretty good to go. The footage itself is pre-alpha, so that means the models aren't nearly finished yet. The scene in the diner is only being rendered on a GeForce GTX 1080 at 720p too. But even at that resolution, the important stuff is there. We can see robbery mechanics in place, movement mechanics, hitbox meshes, interactions with NPCs, decent voice acting, and we have at least two known characters, Lucia and Jason. We have what looks to be a house with a pool, a diner, nightclub, condo complex, garages, and general scenery, and it appears to be set in Vice City, the in-game representation of Miami. The cops seem to have a pretty decent AI too, taking cover appropriately, and it looks like Jay Norris may be making a comeback, with one of the voice-acted scenes alluding to a conspiracy theory that Norris was never killed, so that may tie back into GTA 5's story somehow, and if it does, that also may mean we might see Lester back in the action. And finally, we can see visual representations of holstered weapons, with one scene showing Lucia using a handgun while she has an assault rifle strapped to her back. So as far as gameplay goes, it looks to be building on the foundations laid out by previous GTAs, with solid gameplay mechanics and some great voice acting. But there's not enough there to talk about the storyline or any key players beyond Lucia or Jason. Finally, what does this mean for GTA Online? Well, it's hard to say at this point. From the footage shown, again, this might not be real, but from the footage shown, the The vehicles are conventional and the setting appears to me modern day or recent past. Weapons appear to be of modern American manufacturing too, so nothing outlandish and nothing that wouldn't slot straight into the current version of GTA Online, which leads me to speculate, and this is only speculative, but I suspect we'll end up with Vice City as an additional island in the existing GTA Online world, similar to Cayo Perico, which would make sense. Allowing people to move between Los Santos, Cayo and Vice City freely would mean people who've invested hundreds, or well, let's face it, thousands of hours into their GTA Online persona and businesses get to keep all that, but start fresh-ish in a new zone on the map. But again, that's pure speculation, and I've been wrong before. But hey, this could all be an elaborate hoax, so who knows? So, what are your thoughts? Is it real? Have you seen the footage? Do you like Lucia or Jason as potential protagonists? We're really keen to hear from you, so drop a comment below and we'll do our best to reply. Oh, and if you're new to the channel, we do how-to guides, news and giveaways, so consider subscribing and ringing the bell to stay up to date. And thanks for watching. Check out the video up the top for more information, or the one down the bottom for some more old Grumpy Gamer goodness. Stay safe, wash your hands, and we'll see you in the next video.